what happened? How did we become friends?
We started going to worship team practices together.
The grieving began. Did my friendship towards you change in any way?
I felt like I would love for your marriage to work out. I would love for your hope to not be deferred.
Many times when we go through stuff, when we go through brokenness, when we go through any kind of thing that, threatens our lives, the one part of our lives that suffers is friendships. Whether it suffers, it may suffer or it may do well. So one of the two. Today, I have somebody that you guys know. If you've been with me for a while, you know her. If not, then you will know her, right? A friend of mine from varsity. So when we are counting, we are over 10 years. Ne?
Yeah.
Over
14 years.
14 years. Yeah, 14 years. Friends for 14 years. And I think I wanted to bring her here before we start the actual podcast that I announced, to kind of bring in people who knew me, who know me, and who has been with me through the little that I've shared on YouTube. It makes sense for me because I don't want to transition into a new season and not take you guys with me the way I would like. I didn't introduce myself. If you're seeing me for the first time, my name is Disetso Homo, and this is The Garden. Hello, Thato.
Hello.
How are thou?
I'm good.
I'm good. So I want you to introduce yourself, but before that, I'm like thinking to myself, whenever we go, when you go to a house, there's an anthem that we sing before we pray. Either we're leaving. It's an anthem. It's like an unwritten anthem.
Yeah, but unreasonable.
You don't know
it at the end.
Is it at the end?
It's always at the end. It's always when we're leaving a house. It's never when we enter.
Oh, because we don't we pray when we enter?
We hardly pray when we enter.
This is the garden, so we can do whatever we like. Anyway, thank you so much for saying yes to my invitation.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm excited. I'm nervous. I don't really know what to expect.
What to expect, me too.
But I think it's going to be a good conversation, a necessary conversation.
Yeah. So a lot of people are probably looking at you like, oh, Thato looks so strict. She's so funny.
I am strict though. It's not a lie.
Yeah, but she is also very strict.
I am quite funny if I have to say so myself.
Okay, not like I'm funny and then she's like under me.
What is this? What is happening here? Why am I here?
Okay. Sorry.
For context, the producers of the show are also shaking their heads in disbelief.
The producers have been laughing since I got here. So anyway, I need you to introduce yourself quickly.
Oh, sorry. Introduce yourself. Okay.
Shabuya.
Shabuya
roll call.
My name is Thato.
Yeah.
Okay. My name is Thato. My surname is Ntiso.
Yeah.
And I've been friends with this incredible girlie for 14 years. We met in varsity at the University of Pretoria. And today I'll introduce myself as friend. That's all.
Yeah.
There needs to be.
Okay. And so
And wife of one husband, of course.
It has to be one husband.
Yes.
Yes.
One incredible husband.
Incredible husband.
That's besides the point. I'm friend today.
So my friend, if you guys, I have this clip. I think I'm going to sneak it in here. The one video that we have on my channel. We had a video that we took together.
Yes,
I don't remember what we were talking about.
I
don't know what we were talking about. Yeah. And I said that Thato was like a super Christian. Like, I want to say this because Thato was such a super Christian that if she sees a guy back then and she feels like, somehow towards the guy and it's like a crush something, she'll come and it's like, oh my gosh, I think I sinned against the Lord.
It's not true.
It's so true. It's so true.
It is
and I'm like,
true.
Sure, I had a crush on Bow Wow. I'm a sinner of note. I mean, now
true.
She's married. Do you still feel like a sinner?
No, I don't even know where this theory comes from because I remember that part of the video.
But because you said it.
And
it was during the first few months of me meeting you, I'm like, yo.
Maybe that's that crush was not saved. Maybe that's why
Did
I
you
felt
feel?
some type of way.
Yeah.
But no, I don't feel the same. I have a huge crush on my very saved husband. Yeah, no.
Tato's newly married, so if you guys need any advice, just DM her.
Yes.
Yeah.
Launching a podcast in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Marriage seminary.
Yeah. She got married on the 20th of December.
Yeah. That's what most
Yeah.
podcasters do.
I mean,
We launch.
you have the wisdom of the Holy Spirit. Time is nothing.
No, I'm kidding, guys. No advice for marriage. I just arrived. I'm just enjoying. And that's all there is to it.
I'm so happy for you. At least you can last in peace.
What?
Is that even a thing?
No, of course not. It's not even biblical.
I repent, okay?
should.
I repent. Okay, quick one. We're going to do quick.
We love in peace.
We love in peace.
In Christ we love. No.
Now she can actually post a man's. Okay, this is not about that.
Yeah,
Right.
actually.
Yes. Shout out to your husband.
Shout out to my husband. Hello, Baba.
He must comment and say hello. Okay, cool. Icebreaker. I have 3 questions that I want to ask you before we get into the conversation.
Okay.
Bearing in mind that we're having the podcast because it's like we are transitioning. And I feel like, this was necessary. 3 questions. The first question, your favorite memory of 2016. It's a trend going on. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah.
your favorite memory in 2016. And if you have a picture, you're probably going to have to send it to me. We'll send it to the producers. They'll put it there so people can see. And then another memory 10 years after that one. So 2016 and 2026. 2026 is short, but anyway. Yeah. Or rather, let's say where you were then and where you are now.
Do you know what's funny? Is that you are my friend and you know my memory is the prayer point.
I thought
So I don't have events in my head by dates.
Okay.
I know I graduated in 2016.
Yeah.
That's the only date I remember. An event attached to a date.
Okay.
That's the only thing.
Okay, what's your favorite memory, childhood memory that you remember?
Yeah, 1,000.
Yeah.
I think my favorite childhood memories always have to do with my grandma. I grew up with my grandma in Chianagampatlele, small little village in Limpopo. Those were always the best.
Yeah.
Those are, if I'm going to group the best days of my life, that bunch is within that group.
Yeah.
First 8 years of my life, very vital period of my life, and how I became who I am.
Yeah.
So a lot of memories going to Mashimong. Oh, those that are not petty.
The shims.
Mashimong is like the farms just on the periphery of the village.
Yeah.
Yes, I'd walk with my grandma to Mashimong, get watermelon and all of those things. That was like the best of times.
Yeah.
And then, of course, traveling with my family. Yeah, those are my favorite childhood memories.
Yeah. Being from Limpopo is a flex, by the way. But anyway, second question. What's the most ordinary thing about you that people don't know?
The most ordinary,
normal thing about you.
But I am, my entire being and essence.
Okay,
is
abnormal.
The most ordinary
abnormal, Thato.
Okay. Sorry.
Oh, man.
I'm like, but I'm normal. The most abnormal thing, or something that someone wouldn't think about me. I don't know. I guess my hobbies, that I paint.
Okay.
I don't think you look at me and you think, oh, she paints. I paint for fun.
Yeah. It wouldn't be far-fetched if they follow you on Instagram. I'd be like, oh.
Yeah, but
Okay.
if they look at me and they meet me now, hi, Thato.
What do you think people see when they look at you at first glance?
I don't know, depending where they meet me. If at work, a marketplace girly.
Boss babe.
No, definitely not boss babe. If at church, woman of God.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, it just depends where
Okay.
they meet me. But yeah, I don't think I give off like
A particular.
Yeah. Maybe I do. I don't know.
There, you just
Never
never.
been told.
Yeah. Okay, the last question. If your healing journey or your journey was a garden, what would your garden look like? What would you have?
That's a very interesting question. My mind and imagination is very graphical. So now I'm building a garden in my head.
We want to know what you're building.
Okay, so what it looks like is it's a huge piece of land, huge, open, large, and it's green, and it's got tall blue gum trees.
Okay.
And I guess that would symbolize the pillars in my life, right? The counsel, the wisdom that surrounds me from other people around me, my mentors, my parents, my pastors.
Yeah.
And somewhere in that garden, there is a bonfire, because it should be a warm place and cozy. The bonfire never goes out.
I show
And
you.
friends and family are sitting around that bonfire, because that has been a big part of my healing.
Sure. Yeah.
My community.
Yeah.
I can't say it enough. And there's just the beautiful breeze in the garden, and that would be the Holy Spirit. That literally he holds it together.
Yeah.
I think that would be my garden.
What would you call your garden?
Olive Grove.
Grove.
Olive Grove.
Oh my gosh, I literally
Definitely.
said Olive Grove.
Yeah, Olive
Yeah.
Grove. There'll be lots of olive trees, lots of blue gum trees, lots of grass, lots
Yeah.
of white roses.
I like that. We must visit your garden.
Hmm.
We want to go to your garden.
You should.
Yeah. Right. We're done with those. I think
Those
people.
were deep. Those were the icebreakers?
How do you know me? Okay. What's your
very
favorite
deep.
color?
Yeah, white. How?
Oh,
Should have done
I
that.
wouldn't
White
have
and blue.
guessed. I
Blue,
wouldn't
blue,
have guessed. Like,
Surprise.
is that light enough?
That's the most normal thing people would know about me, that I like white.
But they see it.
It's the normal thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, my normal friend. Let's get into the conversation.
Let's.
So I brought you here. Like I said, I think this has been one of the conversations I wanted us to have from a long time ago. And I think even prior to, we'll get to that, but I think it's been a conversation I wanted to have around community, around, just having that as a healing mechanism. And the whole isolating thing that we go into, some of us go into, But before we get into that, let's get people into how we met, I think, because I'm having so much fun and they're just thinking, these ones, they must get a room. So let's just get into, bring them in to the friendship.
Yeah.
So that they walk with us properly.
Okay. The journey.
The journey. So I meet you in 2012. Ne? 2011 or 12?
12 at
12.
the cult. Cut that out, please.
Whoa. Okay.
Tissue.
I'm yeah. Wow.
Are we eating into your time? Laughing?
Our time, yes. Okay, I think I need these bloopers. I need these bloopers. They're fun.
Okay.
Okay, sharp.
Wait.
But must he cut it out?
We're going to have to explain what that is. So
Yeah,
no,
well.
please cut it out. No. As a blooper, I don't know. But as the real content,
okay.
definitely cut it out.
Okay. Are you okay now?
I'm okay. Thank you.
Okay.
We can continue.
So you and I meet in 2012. I happened to bump into a certain pastor.
Yeah.
Who then invited me to his church. And then I think then it was something about being part of a worship team, and then he hooked me up with you. were we going to a cell group or what?
Yeah, I think he invited you. So I lived at the fields with my friends, and we happened to host a cell group for the church that we were going to at that time in varsity 2012. And I think he invited you to church and to the worship team, but he also told you about the cell group.
cell
This is before I meet you.
Yeah.
Excuse me. And
I met our other friend first, right?
yes, you met the other people
Oh, I
at the cell
know.
group.
I know my memory
And
of
then
you.
I walked in with my friends.
Yeah, continue.
I walked in with my friends and we walked out.
Yeah.
And then we met at church. And then he introduced the pastor.
I needed to go back. You walked in doing what?
Me and my friends, guys, the degree I studied.
You can't
We
start
had
by
to-
explaining yourself.
We used to do assignments overnight. On that day, we had to go to the studio. As serious students, we had to go to the studio. And we needed food. We didn't have takeout money. So we had to come to my place because I was closest to campus. We walked from the South Campus. Those that know, it's very far. To the fields to cook dinner with my two friends. And we walked out. And you guys were in cell by the time we wanted to cook dinner. That's the only weird thing that you want to refer to.
No, she put it nicely. But what happened was we have cell group right now, and we're sitting there, and we are hungry. We are students, and these ones come in with a vorse, and can I just emphasize, we're students. They come in with a whole vorse, and it's just three of them. Ne? They put it in the oven. We are there praying, and the smell hitting us. They don't even offer.
Because what if you're fasting?
You
That'd be
know,
so
you would
offensive.
know.
How would we know? I'm not.
That was my memory of him. Like, yo, let's go at demand. That time you're living on noodles, and they're out there.
Shout out to Daniel and Busi.
Boosie. Anyway,
Let's continue.
okay, cool. So then we meet, and then I think what stood out about me, what happened? How did we become friends?
We started going to worship team practices together. So we walked from the fields to whatever venue that we had, and we got close around that time. We would chill before rehearsals, after rehearsals. We got to know each other.
Yeah.
Proper quality time.
Yeah, I think one of the things that I liked about you was you got the goofy stuff
Yeah.
and the goofy songs. And I don't have to explain to people to be like,
Yeah.
oh no, it's a song that I saw on Nickelodeon. So that was fun for me because I'm like, okay. And we sang a lot.
We sang all the time.
Like within mid-sentences, we would sing.
It's actually crazy because I can't sing.
I can't sing either.
But, well, that's a lie. But I was in the worship team. But guys.
But you sang.
But there's a gap in the ministry. And I did, shame, because I love Jesus. But that's how we met. And that's how we grew close.
Yeah, that's how we grew close, and that's how we met. And another favorite part, just going to say, it was the worship for me. It was always the worship, that ministering together.
Yeah.
There was just that thing, man. You just had to be there. You know, there's just always
in church or in private.
Yeah. So I think that drew us even closer.
Yeah.
Even the times where there's a picture of us, I'm gonna put it somewhere, where it happened all the time. Either she's the one closing worship or I'm the one closing worship. But there's a time where we'll go to each other and cry.
Literally after worship.
After worship. Yeah. For what? I don't know. We were single. Like, it's not like we're crying. We were crying for Jesus.
Oh, we were single. Didn't have to get in there, but okay.
You only cry for men.
Hey, Jesus. I cry for so many other things, but okay.
Yeah, so that was before marriage. And I think one of the reasons I got you here is because you knew me prior to getting married. Mm-hmm. You knew me when I was about to get married. You knew me when I was married. You knew me when you know me now when I'm unmarried. So you've got context. Yeah. And you got the tea, but we're not spilling the tea.
Today's not the tea day.
No, there won't be a tea day.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, and I just wanted you to paint a picture of. It's very awkward because I'm asking you questions about me, which is weird. It's awkward for me.
It's an honor for me.
I mean, it's weird for me. I want to ask you, but anyway.
You're right with it. I'm
Yeah.
okay with it.
So I was saying, paint a picture of who I was before I got married.
I think you mentioned now the goof. We were just two silly girls that love Jesus. I mean, we're in varsity, so yes, male species were around, but we were never engulfed in that industry.
No.
So we really did just hang out, study, go to church, worship team, come back, do the same.
Yeah.
And we just loved Jesus together. And as our friendship grew closer and closer, I got to know who you are, and I enjoyed being around you because you were yourself. Do you know what I mean? And I think in weird seasons, in good seasons, in bad seasons, as bad as they could be in varsity, we were there.
370.
And 370. But you've always been joyful. You were always a light. And I think everyone that knows you can testify to this. I don't think it's a Thato revelation. Everyone knows how much of a light you are when you enter a room. Yeah, that's who you are.
Yeah. You spoke about being joyful and in tough seasons. During the time, I think I lost my dad somewhere there. And I think you were one of the people who I could honestly say I wasn't okay. Like that light you talk about, or the joyfulness, it was easier for me to say, not now. Yeah.
I'm not the joyful girl right now.
Yeah. And I remember you would ask, do you feel like peopling today? And I'm like, yeah, I do feel like peopling, or I don't feel like peopling. So I want us to go back to that time where that was happening and I lost my dad. I don't know if I was grieving or whatever that thing I was doing, whatever that was. Yeah, take us through our friendship then.
How old were we? I feel like we were
2015.
Yeah. 23-ish, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're kids. I think when you lost your dad, it also came at a very generally tough season in your life, and it was hard for you. And I still say to this day, I know how you always say, oh, you were there for me, and, but I don't think there's a formula, or looking back, I can say, this is what I did. This is what I did. I was literally just there. And I think many of your friends were just there. And in our presence, maybe you found comfort, maybe you found freedom to express you're not okay, but there was nothing written down to say this is how I would be around my friend that's grieving. Yeah. So I think that time for me, the memory of that time is just being present and constantly asking you how your heart is doing. I think it was very hard on you. Very, very hard on you. I do think that time was the start of, unfortunately, it coincided with you deciding on a life partner.
Yeah.
It was around about the same season.
It was.
That very tough, grieving, dark period was also the same time where you were being courted and toasted and praying and fried and being asked to be someone's partner. Yeah, that's what I remember about that time.
And how was that? Like, I feel like I'm trying to live my life through you right now.
Through my memory.
Yeah, through your memory reliable. Sucks. Next friend.
Honestly.
No, but because I feel so I actually wanted to compare the times where things were great and times where the grieving began. Did my friendship towards you change in any way? Or was I still my normal
Do you know what? And I
goof
know
troop?
we are not there yet.
Yeah.
But you grieving did not change our friendship dynamic at all. If anything, I think we got closer during that time.
Yeah.
If anything,
Yeah.
I think you didn't want to isolate yourself from the masses, yes, but from your people,
Yeah.
you allowed yourself to be. And I think they were gracious enough to allow you to be as well. Contrary to, and we'll maybe get into it at some point, contrary to other types of grief
Yeah.
that you've gone through and loss that you've gone through, like marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we get into to marriage. How was that for you, and how was I? And this is now, let me paint, because you know a lot. You probably, there's a lot racing in your head right
You
now.
have no idea.
Yeah. So let's say,
Narrow it down.
yeah, let's start in the beginning. In the beginning. Is there a beginning story? Because I feel like when I'm looking back, I'm literally living my life through Thato right now. Like trying to rethink, recall. I'm trying to recall certain parts of my life then, and probably the decisions I made then. First few months maybe of my marriage, and maybe even the decision leading to that. There's a particular conversation that I remember us having. I'll remind you because you probably don't remember.
Thank you.
Yes. So I think it was you, the other Thato, and Baki. And we were sitting in my room at home. It was the day before the lobola. Do you remember? Okay, it was the day before the lobola, and prior to that, there was a huge fight that happened at where I used to stay in Pretoria. Do you remember that one?
I remember that one very well.
Yes. And then the conversation was because then I was pregnant, and you guys knew.
Yes.
And I had come back from the pastor at home to tell him, I don't mind if you tell people, it's not a secret. Yeah. Then we spoke about it, and then we started speaking about why I wanted to get married. Do you remember that conversation?
I remember that, yeah.
I remember it, but I actually don't even remember what my answer was. Because I feel like even in that conversation, I said a lot of things that try to convince me that this is what I want to do and this is what I want to do now. And I think it was also centered around the child.
Yeah.
That I didn't want my child to grow up with us or be born in with a different surname because lineage, because generational wealth. Do you remember that?
I remember that.
Let's talk about that one. Did you think, don't do it, Maisa? Or
we would have to backtrack.
Okay, let's backtrack.
To
I'm comfortable. I skipped, but because I wasn't sure if you are comfortable. I'm comfortable.
I'm not. For the record, I'm not, because I think a lot happened, friend.
Yeah.
And for the integrity of
the people involved.
No, of you.
Oh, okay.
And your heart.
Okay.
I don't want to go into detail, but you've already mentioned the big fight.
Yeah.
That happened at where we used to live before.
3 days
before.
3 days before the wedding.
Excuse me. I think that conversation the conversation of why you want to get married a day before the lobola didn't start on that day. It started even before the fight.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I think on that day, there were just too many red lights at the same time. And I think as your friends, of course, you want to support your friend, but you also want to make sure what you are walking into with your eyes wide open and with your heart in check and aligned. So I think that's what was happening. It wasn't because you went to talk to Bishop. It was because we had seen a couple of patterns. And as your friends, we are concerned Unfortunately, and I don't think it's a you thing. I think generally a lot of people would have still
Went through with it.
yes, because a lot had happened already, and like
Yeah.
you said, you were protecting your ideal and ideology of what raising a child should
In a
look like.
family.
So I think that's what happened.
Yeah. Because when I look back at it now, I'm just like, actually, it wasn't that. And I think at that time, there was a lot of clouding of judgment, mostly like covered in shame. And I think then I didn't have the language for it. Obviously, I have now. Then I didn't know it was shame. I didn't know it was even a thing. I didn't know I was feeling shame in any way because I was just feeling like I'm okay. And
Do you feel like one of the reasons why then when we spoke on that day, because I don't actually remember your response, but do you feel like a lot of us make decisions to cover shame
yeah,
or hurt
yeah.
or what will people say?
I think for me, because generally I'm not a big what do people say thing. It's a shame that comes from within. There's nothing as painful for me to come to a place where I'm shaming myself. And I remember if we're backtracking again, when we actually found out about me being pregnant and we're sitting on the bed, and the first thing I thought of was like, oh my gosh, I have mentees. And not because what are they going to say, but it's like, how can you disappoint them? So all the shame that I was feeling was more internal than, and I mean, we're not talking about that, but what happens to a person who, falls pregnant out of wedlock is they become very angry.
Yeah.
They become so angry at everyone, mostly themselves, but it just interprets to everybody else, the church, everyone, And I think I knew that, so I shied away from the anger, but I sat in my shame.
Sure.
Yeah, I sat in my shame because at that time it's better if they don't see that I'm shaming myself, and I'll sit with my shame alone. So I think a lot of the decisions that I made then were to silence the voices of shame in my mind. Yeah. And we're not going to cry.
No.
Yeah. So then the decision to get married is done and is made. And I think I say this about myself that, look, I'm a ride or die. Like I will go. And I just believe in marriage anyway. So I believe in it. And even when I saw that there are things that I don't like, you lie to yourself, be like, it'll work out.
Yeah.
Well, it's a hope.
But in your, it's not even in your defense. This is not your defense. But I do think you had a lot of hope.
I did. I have a lot.
I think you walked into it really believing.
Yeah.
This is the man you're meant to be with and raise a family with. And yeah, so I don't want us to take that part away as if you walked in, not hopeless. You actually
I had
liked
big
and
hope.
loved him.
I had big hope.
You had big hope. It's just unfortunate it turned out the way that it turned out.
Yeah.
But you had good reasons and intentional reasons to, as far as you could have decided at that point. They were constrained by your knowledge and insight, which you know now.
Yeah.
But at that point, I think you had a lot of hope and you had a lot of reason to hold on to him, even with a lot of the questions that we were raising at that time.
Right. So then I get into marriage. Did that in any way change our friendship? Me getting married.
During marriage?
Yeah. Now I'm married. I'm inside.
In the beginning, no. In the beginning, no. I think we were quite intentional in still friendshiping well.
Yeah.
It was only a bit later.
Yeah. So I think I want, so fine. I get married in 2016. Somewhere there. Oh, 2016.
I don't remember.
End of 2016.
Okay.
I think it was December 2016.
Was it not 2017?
No, I was born in 2017.
Oh.
My daughter was born
Yeah,
in
yeah.
2017. And I think when I got married, and this is just, we probably have never spoken about this before.
Yikes.
And
Ilipiri.
Lima Kunut.
Oh no.
Ditsishwa.
Kin.
Jesu. Yeah, but I think when things started looking a bit shady in the marriage, that internal shame thing started knocking. And it was like, oh, and you know, I had a real thing. Yeah, oh, I'm the first one to have a child in my group. So that was, it played with my mind.
Really?
It really did. Like when we have events, I will be like, remember I have a child.
Yeah.
Or I'll say, maybe I should sit this one out because I have a child. And, you know, also the enemy just plays with your mind to say, when you show up with your child like that in that setting, people are annoyed. Oh, there she comes with the child. And no, look, my friends loved my kid. But I think there were times I'm just like, but also a lot of things that, where that came from is also what I was hearing in the house, you know. So it was like, there's a lot of shame, man, in how I did life when I got married.
Sure.
And even when things started looking shady, like when I keep saying shady, I don't know why, but when we
shady.
didn't have, when we didn't have money and things were looking bad, you know, I shamed myself because I'm just like, but did you go into this thing blindly? You saw the red, what we call red flags now.
Yes.
It wasn't red flags then.
We didn't know.
We didn't know those were red
We knew
flags.
there were weird patterns.
It was just like,
Yeah.
pray it out, because I even got advice to pray and go touch his clothes and pray and his shoes from someone. Then I would pray, but it just wasn't working out. And just coming back to show up from that place where you know that things are not well, and then you have to be, you know, okay outside. It played a huge role in how slowly but surely I was like, maybe I don't belong. Maybe I shouldn't be, you know, maybe I should just, you know, keep to myself. And also obviously being told, you think your friends like you. Oh, you think, you know, wara wara. So those kind of things were playing in my mind without having said nothing to you guys to say, this is how I feel, because shame is such an isolating thing, and it thrives in isolation, and that's what it was doing. And funny enough, I would talk about it, this whole shame thing, but for me it was like I wanted to keep it to myself.
Sure.
Yeah. And then fast forward to then things getting really bad, and I think, yeah, things were bad. I'm not even painting a picture of how bad things were, even when we didn't have. I mean, at some point I was staying with Thato. I was a married woman staying with Thato, and he was staying elsewhere, you know. And funny enough, you're there and you're having the time of your life because you don't want to go back to that place where now there are voices telling you stuff, you know. And fast forward to things going bad. And I remember Thato has always been the person that I'd go to and I cried to. I'm like, oh, I can still hear my cry in my ear. And I remember being told that that's not how you build a marriage. And I'm not supposed to cry. It's too early.
It's okay.
We have 10 more minutes.
It's fine.
But yeah. Oh no, aesthetics gone. So you're told in a marriage, you're a young girl and you're told that's not how friendships are done. I mean, marriage is done. And you're told that stay away from friends because they are the reason. At some point I was blaming myself for how my marriage was turning out, because why do you have people that you run to and not your husband? But I'm running away from
that.
You know, and I'm running from him, but you want me to go to him. So having to deal with that confusion and the pain of thinking your marriage is falling apart and it's your fault.
Sure.
And I never spoke about that because I was just like, what do I do? I'm crashing out, like they say now. But I lived with the guilt of, one, you shouldn't have gotten married because of how the situations were. Maybe if you waited, two, now you're here and you're the reason. Yeah. So and I think I struggled with having the language for it to come and say it. So I just I let it play out the way I thought it was playing out. But fast forward, we are there, we're in a rut. And how am I then as a friend?
That's tough. I think at this point, you, like you're saying, internal shame, right? I'm the reason. I must just suffer and face the consequences of my decisions. And I feel like that's where you were. And I don't know if I should say this on record or not.
Say it.
I think for me, seeing you in that state, and I'm grateful that you never stopped calling me for all those years that you were in the dingy places. I'm very, very grateful. And I do see it as an honor for me to have been there for you. It was a very tough time for you. Consequently, for your community to watch you go through what was literally, and I think in the midst of it all, what kept us, to be honest, was just God. I think what gave us strength and what probably gave you strength to continue to, even with a voice of shame and internal guilt and how you're, and many other external voices of how you're not supposed to be calling on friends and all of that, you continued. And your mom, confiding in your mom. Shout out to Silly. Honestly, it was just God. But I do have to say, there was a time where the shame got you into a place where, in hopes of restoration of your marriage, where you isolated and purged yourself and your marriage and your children from everyone and anyone that knew the full story.
Yeah.
Does that make sense what I'm saying? And your attention was more shifted toward what I think you would term as fixing your marriage. And so you isolated yourself from anyone that would have known the history, the story of why it might possibly not work out, even if you tried. And I think that's the one time that you isolated yourself. And how I experienced you at that time was not very cute. I think for me, it wasn't whether I'm there for you or not, but it was about what you were going through. And to see you go through it, knowing what you're going through, whether you told me or not, I just knew it was not sunshine and roses. And knowing that you're going through all of that by yourself or with people that are relatively strangers was very painful. And I think also then seeing that effect on the people that love you, that couldn't be there for you because of your purging and distance, was quite tough.
Yeah. I think we have a picture of what's going on, and they're probably wondering, what are they talking about? So there's a time where the second time. Was it the second time the threat of divorce? The second time. It was because the first time it was shortly after COVID. It was during COVID. the first time, and I was at your place, remember? She doesn't, but I was at her place. And shortly after that, then I found out I was pregnant because obviously I was just like, we're not going to divorce. What do you mean? We're going to work this one out. And hope was at its peak. I was just like, we'll have a good testimony. The Lord will take us out of this. And a lot of people was just like not understanding. But in me, I was like, no, we will fight this one through. It's a demon. We will go into warfare and we will win the battle. And I remember the second time around now, this is now post-COVID, shortly after COVID, when it was a whole writing on Instagram, when we all found out that we are divorcing, including, I found out with the messes. And there was a post written that, on Instagram that, give us privacy. I'm like, oh, then I think I was still crying out to you. I was still there, and then I think for me, what marked the distance between us was when then I decided to go back after everything that had happened. And again, the shame creeps in to say, how do you go back to the people who saw you bleeding like that internally or whatever the case may be, and say, I'm going back
to that environment? And
the shame, and the other side, the other one was also, I wasn't sure if I was truly convicted, because am I really hearing? Because everybody else will try and change my mind about it. But I'm like, but I'm not finding any scripture that's saying I should. So this is a conviction already, So shame pulled me away from the people I knew to go to when I needed the strength. And I was like, I'm not going back there. Hence I then found people with voices that echoed, that shut the shame, and that also spoke into this conviction I had, So for me, it was like, I know that you guys only found out, like I had a picture or something of, it was my son's first birthday in Sun City. And that's how you guys found out.
On a YouTube video.
That I went back.
Yeah.
And I only now, like later on, I realized how bad that looks. Like, and how it have affected everybody else. But I mean, for me at that time, it was just like, let's fix this. Whatever the Lord has brought, let's fix it, And I remember there was a time where, so in that time of me trying to fix things were not cute. I was just literally, I felt like a doormat, but I would do anything
at this point
because what do you mean? We have dreams, we have hopes, we have things that we've been speaking about.
Things were once good.
Yes, and you just never think you'd have 2 kids and not have things work out. And but at that point, I was afraid to do things.
Sure.
I was afraid to step out. I was afraid because of the response I would get. Fast forward, it is your birthday. And I made arrangements. I'm like ready. I'm putting stuff in my car. I'm like, okay, in the morning I'm going to go to the shower and then I'm going to go to your birthday. And things change. And at that point, I can't even do anything because I'm literally at that point financially, that period, I didn't have.
I actually forgot about that.
Yeah, I didn't have, and which made me now miss Thato's birthday. I remember I had 200 Rand in my pocket because I was going to pour petrol with the 200 Rand.
Yeah, there's not so many details, but okay.
Yeah, but it's in my head. I'm going to say it anyway.
Okay.
I had 200 Rand in my pocket that I was going to pour petrol with and go to Pretoria from 4 ways.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, car's taken from me. I don't know how I'm going to get there. I'm like, okay, Uber. I don't have enough money to take me to the Pretoria North. And then I'm like asking the people who's going to Pretoria, but they were going to stay longer because it's a baby shower, And then I call, I don't get a call. I don't get feedback. The feedback I get, which I did not tell you, is you're not going there. what do you mean? And I'm like, oh, that's the reason why the car
Because
didn't come
why
back.
are you going to the friend that is not promoting what I'm doing?
Yeah, so it's like, you're not going there. Your husband says you can't go there. I take the money, I send it to Thato, and I'm like, send an apology. And I felt terrible. But it was just like, oh, so you wanted to defile me and go anyway. So, and that's the kind of life I lived there in my going back. A life of imprisonment, if I can put it that way, in the disguise of, but aren't we fixing? Yeah, aren't we fixing our marriage?
Yeah.
You know? And yeah, you didn't take that one nicely.
No, I did not. I think it was a build-up, though,
Yeah.
on... Do you know what? It's so tough to have this conversation without actually giving detail. And I don't want to give detail. And I
Yeah,
will not
don't,
give detail.
yeah.
Maybe you'll cut this little vent out. But it is tough. I think for me, friend, like you said, I saw everything. Literally everything.
Yeah.
And I knew everything. And I don't advocate for divorce. Let me put that on record. I do not advocate for divorce. But I remember I've always felt like this, but I didn't have the words for it. A friend of mine who happens to also be an apostle, very powerful apostle, Cyril Peterson.
Shout out.
Apostle Cyril Peterson once at Struven Street was talking about marriage, and he said, of course we cannot change the word of God. It is what it is. The Lord hates divorce. But there are situations... No, he didn't say this. This was my interpretation. What he said was, the covenant of life takes precedence more than the covenant of marriage.
Yeah.
And I think for me at that point, without going into the detail, I could literally see you dying.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking figuratively.
Yeah.
And I don't want to cry.
Okay.
But you can imagine a position where I saw my friend fading away.
Yeah.
Yikes. This was not the plan.
Yeah.
But a producer blind. He's going to cut out my tears. I don't know how. And for me, it was just that. I felt like I would love for your marriage to work out. I would love for your hope to not be deferred, so that your heart is not sick, so
But the
that
way
you're
things
made
are going.
well. I hoped that would be true, that restoration would be your story for a long time. I think I need to also contextualize this. For a long time, I prayed that things would work. But I think at some point, when I could see your life, literal life, fading away, that's when I thought, and I didn't just think it, I spoke to you about it, and I told you, I don't want to see you die. I don't want to bury you. I don't know if you remember
Yeah,
this.
I do.
And so that's what happened. So you going back for me wasn't an issue because I didn't want you to reconcile with your husband. That wasn't the thing. For me, seeing you go back was me seeing you going back to die.
Sure.
And the terrible thing was, many a times, even after that, there were so many instances where, unfortunately, and I hoped I would be proven wrong, but there were so many other instances where I'd be called and I would receive a call or a text that would make me realize that I just almost lost you.
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I think me not taking it well should not be taken out of context of, oh, she didn't want her friend to reconcile or to fix marriage, but it was simply because I believed with everything inside of me that your life was more important than you being married.
Yeah.
And I truly believed the restoration of your life and your actual physical body was an urgent prayer more than anything.
I don't want to cry further.
Don't.
It's hard. Yeah. So the other day, in wrapping up because time,
By 30 more minutes.
The other time, I think having like hearing this from you right now, I think for me is like, and I heard this from you before, it translated a lot to how I don't think I valued my own life. I would rather have people have their lives than have mine, you know. And that was hard for me to actually come to accept that you need to change that about yourself, you know. And I remember 2020, 2020, after the divorce, separation. It was my birthday, and you sent me a text, and you're like, "Oh, I'm glad you're here," and whatnot. I still have that text, by the way, screenshotted it. And I think it hit me then that because when I woke up one day in hospital and I wanted to take my life, I wasn't happy to be here. I was upset. I was just like, what do you even mean? Like, I don't want to be here anymore. So when the text came through, it was like, you are still worth living. And I wept. I cried. But I don't want to go deep into that because we don't have time. So I want us to then go into the little happy side of you seeing me in the now. And I mean, like a lot has happened. I think my biggest regret about our friendship is that I allowed my shame unknowingly to put a dagger on our relationship. And I won't lie, it's not easy because there are times where I really miss you. I'm like, oh, I miss those times, but I don't even know how to go back there, you know, even if, but I'm just still so glad that you're still here. Yeah. Against the odds. Defy the odds. I'm not a mushy person, but anyway, going into the happier things, transitioning into where I am now. And do you still think I'm dying? Before we get there.
Firstly, no, you're not.
Okay.
I think just for context in transitioning, for the sake of the story, after we were not well, we sat down. I called a meeting. We sat down. I think if you value relationship and community and friendship, tough conversations must be had. And I think we had a couple of those actually, not once, not twice, where we had to actually get to the root of what shifted and when. And we were honest with each other. And from there on, just believed the Lord for restoration. And he's been faithful. Yeah. And he has been kind. And I'm also glad that we're still friends. I think your family in particular would call a meeting for you if you ever cut me off, just to put it on record.
Oh, they'll be friends with her only.
Please, Lumulate. But I'm very grateful for you. And I'm grateful that the Lord preserved your life and that he also preserved your heart. Yeah. And I just pray that he opens it up for possibilities and hope of love and restoration in your life. Yeah.
Amen. Thank you. I love you so much. Okay, we are done. I think we're getting into the garden, and I said we're not gonna talk more about the pain, but into the blossoming side. I think it was befitting for me because I'm no longer in that space to always just be talking about the pain. Though I think I'll still do it because I think there are people who still need to know that they are not alone. But I think it's time for people to share in the joy as well.
100%. I think you are no longer there, and this was the perfect ode for you to say that was the pain story. It is finished. This is how it went. But now I'm in a different place. I'm blossoming. I'm being fruitful in the garden.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. It's a good place to be.
And there's a bonfire with my community around.
There is a bonfire and a balm of Gilead.
Thank you so much for sharing your time with me and for just being my friend. I appreciate you.
I love
and I love you.
I love you too.
Riau. Thank you so much for watching, guys. My name is Dise, so I know we had to cut this one. She'd probably have to come back or something. We'll fly her back. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this far. This whole episode was only to show you that community is important. And if you value the relationships that have fallen along the way in your pain, go back. There's still time. I got to love back.